Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here we go.
We're gone again.
Well, we can do it like we're doing commentary. This is a lovely picture of you three. Tell me about the bike that you have there.
That was actually quite difficult to remember. How much difficult we had trying to prop us up on that.
Try and find out who owns each foot. It's quite tricky, actually.
I'm gonna have a look.
Oh,
hello. Beautiful. We're here. Hello. Now you're very welcome to. Absolutely, I'm glad they've warned us now, and it's over my mouth, so it looks like I'm being like silent. Wait there, I'm too short. I lift up the chair.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Hey.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I'm just coming
I
over.
love your crown. It's
Thank
gorgeous.
you. I grew it myself.
That's amazing.
It's like the one at the Midsummer.
Oh yeah, no, this has always been attached to my head. My mother had a very difficult birth, but hello, you're very welcome to the BBC's live Q&A. This is me, Alison Spittle. I'm here with the stars of Young Offenders.
Is it the same for everyone? Is Chris over there for everyone?
Chris is there for me.
Yeah.
And Alison's there.
And that's
right now you're up there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll run through. We're like a very small Brady bunch. I'm Alison Spittle. I know. I'm going to be presenting the Q&A today with thanks to the BBC. This is to celebrate the third series of the Young Offenders that's on the iPlayer. So excited! Yes. I'm really excited. And we're here with Hilary Rose, who plays Mairead, Alex Murphy, who plays Connor, and Chris Walley, who plays Jock. Is it Whaley or Wally? Should have asked that.
It's Wally.
Maybe. Wally.
Yeah, like
Wally,
where's?
Yeah, like where's Wally?
Like the rapper. Did you ever hear the rapper?
Yeah, or the robot.
Oh, yes,
Wally.
That's Wally.
Wally.
Now, you at home, you can ask any question you like, right? You just have to post into the comments below on YouTube. So just any question you want to put in, pop it on YouTube, and it'll get to me somehow through the beauty of technology, and I'll be able to read it out to the lads at the end. I'm very excited. So here, by the way, should we go into our first clip, and then we'll have a proper chat about it. So this is from the third series. This is Therapy, and I'm going to ask you all about it after. Let's play it on.
Sounds good.
Oh. It's like director's commentary.
Everyone knows in movies to beat a psychologist in a therapy session is to keep your mouth shut and let them go on.
Signature spit.
Stop pointing.
Look, hello, everyone, please. Just one voice at a time, yes? No, Mairead, let them speak. You'll have your turn later.
Thank you. No. Ma'am is just angry because she is fully aware that ever since she left Cork, she has committed more crimes than we have. She doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hippopotamus.
What? What you call me?
Mairead?
Hippopotamus. She tells us we can't do one thing, then she goes off and does it herself. A hippo. Chris. A hypocrite.
I'd like to take a moment to talk about the masks that you both wear.
Our masks?
Yeah. The masks that you wear to hide who you really are.
Did you tell her about that?
No, I didn't.
Someone fucking did, didn't they?
I swear, fucking tell her. You're not the first people to walk through this door wearing masks. Really? Oh, yeah, it's very common. But the more insight I have into these masks, the more I'll be able to help.
Alright, the mask I wear is of a little girl. I wear a little girl's mask.
It's a princess mask.
Do you like having other people doing everything for you?
Yeah,
No, I don't.
Yeah, everything. Like sometimes I actually have to tie his shoelaces in the morning.
The mask that I wear is of a person that kind of frightens me a lot, but then other times then he's a friend of mine. What does that mean?
When you're wearing this mask and you look in the mirror, do you like what you see?
No. Ugly.
You think you're ugly?
No. When I'm wearing the mask, yes. When I have it off, I'm a handsome fucker. Sometimes when I'm with you and you're wearing the mask, I don't like you as much because you remind me of him. And sometimes when I'm looking at Billy Murphy in real life, I like him more because it reminds me of you.
And why does this person, Billy Murphy, remind you of Jock?
Alright. It's just when he wears the mask, he just looks quite like him. With the mask. Just be scared. But I'll just. Come on, you go on.
Oh. These are your masks.
Yeah.
Fake Billy.
You know me?
And the princess,
Yeah.
of course. My brother lives in Cork. He is a massive fan since he stole his bike.
Oh, Christ almighty.
A racist from Patrick's Hill.
There's been so many, it's hard to keep track. You know, with Patrick's Hill, we hit up a lot, then we'd be up in Corton Street.
You gave him €3 for the bus so he wouldn't have to walk.
I don't always do a lot of that stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, take a lot, give a little. Come here. It's a fucking pleasure. Tell your brother we said alright.
Do you mind if I try it on?
Yes, bear in mind when you put it on, it might be a bit warm, especially when you're breathing on it.
Are you fucking real? I didn't come all this way and pay all this money so you could stroke their egos. Come on, we're going. Come on, we're going now.
Hey!
And so, number one.
It's very strange to see a handshake. Sorry, it's very strange to see a handshake.
Exactly.
I haven't had that in a while.
The touch, on the other hand. I want to ask, what was it like to be in the therapy office together, right? And what would you say is your character's issues if you were doing armchair psychologist on it, and you were as a therapist? What would you say is your? I was like, we'll start off deep. Let's go in.
Wow,
that is
some
deep.
heavy stuff.
Where to go home?
So Alex, what's Connor's damage? Would you say? And how can he help himself?
See, the struggle is he doesn't really know his own damage. He's just very naive, and he has this strange thing where he just do whatever Jock tells him to do, which mostly in season 1 and season 2. But I feel like in this season he starts to stand up for himself a little bit more. But as I think they say earlier in the episode, it's like they think that this is happening to them because my dad died when I was young, and Jock's only got a dad that isn't really there for him. So, God, this is turning into quite the intervention.
I swear it's the most serious question I asked.
It's gas. It's
I think they've got no issues. They're
I think they're both sound lads.
Wow. I think if you started deep, Alison, so we're going to go deep. I think for Marie, it is unresolved grief. Mixed with, she's probably not getting any.
Yeah.
With the lockdown, that is a big problem. I can definitely relate. Also, in this episode, there's a trip up to Dublin, right? What was that like for you as actors? Because I'd say you're so used to Cork. What was the location?
I did feel like you were going on, like, you know, when you're in school and you go on a school tour, like it really felt like that. We were going up to Dublin. It was
There's all the crew were going up as well, but we'd be staying in the same kind of hotel. Like, who's in your room? It's like, well, I've got Chris and Sean and all these. Yeah. It was just like a big school tour, and then we did a bit of filming halfway through. It was great.
There's a lot of filming, obviously, in that episode in a car, and Hilary and Alex will vouch for it. I get very sleepy in cars. So, I tend to fall asleep in the middle of the scene. Sometimes I'd be in the back and I'd be asleep. I'm not usually like that when I'm acting.
It's
but
just
if you
the
put me in
car.
the car, I will be like that.
It's so funny. In every season, Chris has fallen asleep in the back of the car. Alex and I will be waiting for our lines, or we have said our lines. We're waiting for him to reply, and next thing we have to give him a poke because he's like fast asleep in the back of the car.
Because me and Chris are good friends in real life as well, and I've always wanted to go to a drive-in cinema, and he won't go with me because he said you just fall asleep every time.
I used to go. There was one in Cork, and every time I fall asleep.
It's okay. Me and Alex are going to go.
Yeah, we're going.
Probably never learn to drive. It'd be pretty dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
If you're falling asleep, definitely. Come here. I must ask. So I want to ask for the viewers at home. Where are your characters at the start of episode 1, season 3? Like, what stage are they at? Where are they at?
Well.
Go on, Chris.
Thank you. Well, Josh is having a baby, so so I think it's about to take a fairly major turn. his life's gonna change drastically. So I think he's just kind of a lot of anxiety and nervousness, but also as well, I don't think he truly has any intention of maturing really. So like I would say, it's just basically they're getting up to the same stuff they always were, but now there's a baby there as well. So it's just more chaotic. So he's a bit I don't know, I think he's handling it all pretty well though, you know.
Yeah, no, he's a good dad.
Yeah. He's doing his best.
Oh yeah.
No.
No, go on you.
Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna. It's at the end of season 1. Connor gets the shift, which we were all delighted to see. Me and Demi, we had that great snog on the snog. I'm saying snog for the English audience.
I know.
A mall, really good mall on the bus, and end of season 2. Then it got a bit down and dirty in a car park. And so you just have to see what happens. What could we possibly do more at the end of season 3? So.
Like you're describing a porno, man.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Hilary, what about Mairead?
Yeah, in season 2, Mairead and Healy broke up, who's played by the wonderful Dominic McHale, who's actually a really, really good mate of mine in real life.
He's very good looking.
He's ridiculously good looking, isn't he? Yeah.
Looks a bit like Michael Fassbender.
He's not here. Do you know what I mean? Can't give a compliment to someone I can see.
But he's such a wonderful person. But anyway, so they break up in season 2, and so then we're coming into season 3, and Mairead has just become a granny, which is weird. And then obviously there's like kind of like a mix of the two houses where, you know, she had successfully managed to avoid like Orla and PJ's character in season 2, whereas now the families come together, so they're forced to kind of work that aggro out. So that's fun, that bit.
Now we're gonna go back in time, back to the rest of the series, and you've picked some clips. Now the first clip is the Tuna Heist. Who picked that one?
I think that might have been me.
Yeah. Talk about the process. Why did you pick that clip as a special?
I think it's time people knew that is a real tuna. Pat O'Connell and all the boys working in the English market went off to the coast of France, I believe, and caught this massive tuna. And we were filming with it for a full week, and
it got so smelly, increasing day by day. It was just the worst. It was just getting worse and worse. and you just couldn't. It wouldn't come off in the shower. The smell, we just stunk for weeks.
And I think the scene I think that is going to be shown is that was the day that the BBC was coming over to look at the film, and it was like, oh great, the top dogs are coming over, and there's me and Chris just essentially dry humping a tuna for the day.
There's no we were as well, because it's so heavy. All we had to do in the scene is get the tuna into the trolley, but there was no fake. We were genuinely really trying to do it. It was just so heavy, it was impossible.
Well, let's watch it, and I'll ask you more after. I can't wait. Oh, right. Play out that clip.
Play out that clip.
Play out that clip. You can do director's commentary over if you want.
Can be very competitive. Luckily, fish.
That was shot during the day. Peter just made it darker in the edit.
When you rob the keys?
Really?
Yeah.
I just swapped the wholesaler's lock for a similar looking one yesterday.
That's
so smart, isn't he?
My own lock with my own key. Right. There's nothing illegal about that. I pretty much invented a loophole in the laws against breaking and entering.
So what we're doing we can't get in trouble for?
Not in the eyes of the law.
Well, the law can be pretty stupid sometimes.
Lucky for us, there's idiots making the rules.
We're not laughing, Chris.
Jesus, it's a bit bigger than I remember.
That's
Here's a tip if you're ever thinking about stealing a 400-pound fish. Bring a forklift.
Wow.
Yeah, luckily me and Chris aren't vegans or anything, so
I put the camera outside and we can slide it into it. Let's try again.
My mother would be proud. Nearly there.
That's ridiculous.
As you can see, it's a very highbrow show. It's,
When I try to lift it slowly, it catches on and it goes. So we gotta
Catch it by surprise.
Wait.
Wait.
So like,
Just talk away. Just
feels
talk.
rough.
Wait. Oh yeah. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No, because I just feel like sometimes you.
Have you guys eaten tuna since this?
no.
Have you, Chris?
I hate tuna. I can't. The smell of it now. Even before this, I can't. It's the worst.
Oh man.
I remember thinking at that exact moment, what am I doing with my life?
Oh lads, were you afraid now of giving away your technique when you were pulling up that fish? You got very X-rated with that fish, lads. I feel like
Yeah.
Your own dirty mind. I was just trying to get into the valley.
I don't know, you wouldn't pass any health and safety standards now with that. So, how many showers did it take to get a smell of fish off you?
Oh, it was no man. It was horrible. It was days, and I think it was that was about halfway through filming, wasn't it? So there was like a kind of a halfway through drinks that night, and we all went to Henshie's, this pub in Cork, and everyone was just me and Alex just stunk like.
Yeah,
no one wants to talk to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that day as well, it was a weird day. Because we were the next week we were gonna go. There was a scene where we were swimming in the Lee, and we had to get injections because the Lee's a bit wouldn't be the cleanest river. The doctor came in and we're all sweaty and covered in fish guts, and he's like, "It's time for your jabs," and we're like, "Yeah, grand, your jabs." And he took us out, and then he forgot them. But it was just such a pure Cork moment.
No, he forgot the needles.
I forgot the needles.
You forgot the needles.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my lord.
I'm so happy. I missed all the tuna stuff because obviously I'm not in those scenes. So the guys were like, "Oh God, it was horrendous." I was like, "Yeah, that was my day off."
Was that like the hardest scene that you had to film physically, lads, or was there anything worse than the tuna incident?
yeah, but anytime you see like a few minutes of action kind of on screen, it means it was probably a full day. Like I suppose when I was fighting PJ in the garden in that scene, that was a full day of just rest.
Absolutely.
Oh,
we
like rented this poor woman's garden. We we just destroyed her garden. We fixed it at the end. Don't worry. Not me. But the BBC threw some money at them.
Yeah. Just hire a woman's garden to have a fight in. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So the next one now is Mairead confronts Jock Stad. Now, who picked that one?
I picked that one because I'm in it.
Yeah. and why is that an important scene?
I think so. When Peter writes the scripts, he very much kind of always said that Mairead kind of anchors the two lads, both in a kind of a comedy sense, but in an emotional sense. So a lot of the emotional stuff would revolve around the relationships that they have with Mairead. And I think this is a really powerful one because previously she'd always thought that Jock was just a pain in the ass and just didn't want him in Connor's life and, was really trying to chase him out of the house. So this is that pivotal moment where she sees that he's actually a young kid in trouble and she goes in and rescues him and then says, "Okay, you can come live with us." So that's a massive turnaround for their relationship. So yeah, it was quite poignant. It was a tough enough one to film, actually. Again, all these action clips are, you spend half a day kicking in a door and falling around the place and wrestling with people. So, it's fun. I actually really enjoy it, but it can be, hard going sometimes. But yeah, I liked it.
Okay, well, let's have a watch of it now. That'd be great.
But most of the time, you do things without thinking at all.
That's
Just something inside you that tells you you gotta do it.
I was scared of him.
I done shit all over the car, actually.
Bit me the odd time.
Shit everywhere.
Oh, this is so good.
Michael Sands, great Cork actor.
Michael Sands, yeah. It's a lovely fella.
Vicky, yes.
That was full on. Oh, that was full on.
Do it. fucking dare ya. Jock, get everything you need from here. You're not coming back.
Ah, that poor fella.
Come on, hurry up.
Was that all one take?
Yeah, the final one was all one take, yeah. Remember, because we had to keep on doing it over and over again.
Chris, you love your one takes between this and 1970.
I remember thinking you'd love this thing, Alex. See the weird
Really?
fella on the desk. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, there. That's Peter working his magic there, more the ducks.
I wanted those flight of ducks. Where did they go, actually? I wanted them for my house.
So that's what's wrong with Jock, actually, you were asking earlier.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
What's the reaction been like to the more serious parts of Young Offenders from people? Like, what feedback have you got, Hilary?
To be honest, really positive feedback. Like, I think, particularly, the episode about the mothers as well, that was always a big one that we got feedback over. But we've had some lovely feedback along the way. Like, there was one particular guy spoke to me, and he was in his mid-20s, and he was saying that he felt like for the first time on Irish TV, his family unit felt validated because he was him and his sister were raised by their mum, and they were a single parent family, and that's the first time that it was kind of he felt represented and validated on Irish TV, and that was really lovely, and he was like so thankful for that. They used to sit down and watch it together. So it's moments like that when you put out stuff into the world, you don't really realize that it has effects on people like that. So that was good.
No, because it's a great show. Like, I can see you're all brilliant actors. Like, you're not just funny comedic people with good timing and everything, but you do stuff with your face that like makes you feel sorry, it's a compliment. I'm bringing it out. But lads, what about yourselves? Have you got any feedback from anybody in regards to the more serious bits of Young Offenders?
Yeah, I think just people, that's why people kind of like the show. Like we were saying the other day, it's like you don't ask someone, oh, was this week was this week for you, was it a comedy or a drama? It's like no one has like a particular style of week. That's why I think the show it's comedy and drama. But just for like we be talking to Peter Foot, the writer, a lot, and it's just interesting to talk to him about those kind of episodes, because the whole last 10 minutes of that episode aren't funny at all. And 10 minutes is a long time for no comedy. So that's why the whole start of the episode, it's just kind of gag after gag after gag. So people kind of can sit back at the end and go, okay, we've had our kind of laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really just, because obviously it is quite in general a lighthearted, funny show, that when those moments do come, they just catch you by such surprise. So I feel like it's just such a punch to the gut or whatever if you're laughing the whole time, and then all of a sudden something horrible happens or something really sad. It really, because it's just the darkness with like contrasting how funny it really kind of, I think, affects people more. And I think that's just great writing as well.
Yeah, like I've never seen a duck kind of witness that much drama, but like that duck must be scared.
Yeah.
That duck crapped all over that car. I swear to God.
Was that duck a diva? Like, what was the duck like to deal with? Actually,
we should say
the duck
we had
wildlife. It was a good duck. I like the duck.
We had the duck as well, though, in other seasons. Like, you may know this as well. The duck, it keeps on getting mentioned, but you never see the duck again. In the other seasons. But one day they did, like, the duck was in it, and I think they were like, yeah, we still have the same duck. But like, when they brought the duck back onto the set, it was a duck. Like, he was huge. Like, huge. He took up half the kitchen. Like, I wasn't going near him. I'm actually terrified of them. They could be like, a duck ever start going, yeah.
Oh, definitely. They, you keep thinking a swan can break your arm, and you're like, what can a duck do? Definitely a finger. I know they're smaller, but like, they're dangerous.
Would you rather fight 100 horse or one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Great question. Let's put it to everybody else. I would fight 100 duck-sized horses.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. Duck-sized horses. Yeah. You just kick them.
Just battle them.
Exactly. That's it. Although the BBC doesn't endorse kicking any small duck size.
No.
Yeah.
I'll move Chris. Now, this one is truth or dare from series 2. Who picked that one and why?
Was that me? That was me.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, because I have the bit where I go, you can't do that. And I always thought that.
Wait, so let's have a watch of it.
Yeah, let's see if you can see how much I enjoy going, you can't do that.
That was a theme that ran
was
through
my
the
turn.
entire series.
Yeah. His name's Danny Power. He's a legend.
He's brilliant, Stan. He's
great.
brilliant actor.
Linda.
Yeah.
What? Truth or dare? Pick truth. Always pick truth.
Go on,
Dare.
Linda.
What are you doing? Don't mind my stupid dare, but I'm not revealing my darkest secrets after school. I dare you. Kiss me for 5 seconds. You can't do that!
Here, boy. That's.
Here, boy.
There's
Here,
a
boy.
dare, mate. She has to do it
Here.
anyway. Chill out. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's a dare.
I loved all these scenes because it just brought me back to being in
Fine.
school. Like.
One hippopotamus. 2 hippopotamus.
Oh, Alex, the heartbreak, Alex.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Don't do it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the heartbreak is too much.
Oh,
Cheeky.
Oh, Alex.
Can't believe she did that.
Pardon me.
Oh, hits her right in the feels.
Connor! Connor!
oh my god. So, that was a very emotional moment, lads. I
It
would say.
was.
It's been 3 series now, and you've spent with Jennifer and Demi. What's it like to work with them?
But they're two gas.
Oh,
women.
brilliant.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and Demi,
so good.
especially like in the sense that like Demi has a lot of these big kissing scenes. It almost is becoming a theme, whether it's me or Danny Power, and she's just a champ when it comes to those things because you can be really awkward doing those, or you can just go in for the kill. They're both great. And as I said,
Yeah,
those
we
scenes
knew
are
that
so
when
much fun, like, because you're just back in your school uniform, you can pretend to be 17, 16 again.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, when they, I think you can still see Jennifer's. She probably not want me saying this now, but one of her audition tapes is online. You can see what you call it.
Demi's is as well.
It's just so good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think when we saw because we were involved in the just reading in the casting rooms and stuff like when they were auditioning, and we just knew that it was so obvious that it was going to be them straight away. I think. when
Yeah,
they got cast in
definitely.
Season 2, they're just brilliant.
You could see immediately they totally had something. It was amazing. And like they're amazing girls to work with. They're really, really fab. Because they were really young coming into the show as well. So I always think there was a lot of pressure put on them to coming into, the TV series when we had done the film together. So we very much kind of all had gelled really well.
They were
brilliant.
They were 17, and I was 17 as well when we made the film, but the film was so much smaller. It didn't feel like this big, there was not much pressure because we were just doing it for the laugh, really. It was kind of just a labor of love. But I can't imagine kind of being 17 and coming onto a big, almost proper set.
TV show. Yeah, they did great. They did a really great job.
Yeah, because they're both from Cork, aren't they? And it must feel like.
Demi's from Mallow. She wants you to know that.
Absolutely. Well, kind of. I was going to ask, like, what was it like to? What is Young Offenders' relationship like with Cork at the moment? It must feel very passionate going into series 3. But like, have people kind of like calmed down and given you space, or what's it like at the moment between Young Offenders and Cork?
Well, we were saying when we start filming, usually people at the beginning, wherever you're filming in Cork, they're always like, and it's been great excitement and stuff. But there's a lot of excitement. But because Cork's not that big a place and we're always filming in the city, then people just kind of get like sick of us. After we're there every day, and I think it wears off. But the people, I mean, people from Cork just love Cork, but I do think that they're the best people. Like, you meet so many great characters. Like,
and it was amazing. Like, even when we were on set on the streets and stuff, you know, we'd have a lot of people kind of gather around to watch, and then there'd be people who might show up like nearly every other day or something. They'd know that we were there, and they ended up kind of joining in the crew and helping. So like somebody would be talking a little bit down, they'd be like, "Shut up, boy, will you? They're filming, all right?"
and if so many people have gotten into the show by just going up to the director and going, "Can I be in it?" And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I feel like for me, one of the funniest bits of the new series for me, right, is the first episode. The lad who has to ring his girlfriend. He owns the lorry, and he gets distracted on the phone by his girlfriend. Is he a real person? Because I felt he was.
No, he's an actor. Yeah.
No way! He's incredible.
He's in a lot of Irish stuff, but I love that as well. Is that when he's on the phone for ages, pretending he's on the phone to his girlfriend?
Stop! I wanted a spin-off. I wanted to see him and his relationship with his girlfriend. I'm ready for a 6-part series on that. Like, it was so good. But like, what was like? Do you get many unofficial extras or anything like that? I feel like. Kind of like when I watch it, Cork's very alive.
In season 1, when we're walking through the estate nearly naked, like that, and all the people are behind us walking along, that wasn't supposed to happen. But when we were filming, there were so many people showed up that there was no way we could like not get them on camera. So we just put them in it. Like, so that's what happened.
We saw your man on the horse, and we were like, this couldn't be better. We've got a guy on a horse. And then your man's brother rocked up with a Shetland pony, and we were like, it just got better. So,
Cork feels like the gift that keeps on giving. It keeps on giving.
It really is. People have been so generous to us. Like, you want to film here? You want to film? Like, still, I get stopped in the street and they go, "Oh, we have this business right with this space, and if you ever need anything, just go."
I'm the same. My dad would come home from work and he'd be like, "Okay, Michael's some fireman, and he's like, he has this facility that he can set buildings on fire. If you want a building that you need to set on fire, get on to me." I'm like, already my part of the job, for sure.
Oh man, we want to move on. Any building at all. That's all.
I thought he was going to say something stupid. It was like, if you need a building that needs to set on fire, I'm like, yeah, actually, we might actually need that.
That does sound handy. So the next clip I'm going to show is from series 2, and it's Billy Murphy owes Mairead one. Who picked that and why?
I picked that one because I just love that scene. I think it's just brilliant, and I just think Shane Casey. I always say, like, I learned so much from watching just Shane on set, just his process and the way he goes about, like, and the questions he asks his character and stuff. I just always learn a lot from Shane, so that's why I picked this and Hilary and Shane, and just think they're brilliant in this scene.
Well, let's have a watch and we'll have a chat after.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Why did you come with me? You're wrecking my tits all day.
Not sure if that's a phrase. But
Make it one.
One fucking favour, like. You did me one.
Billy, I never done you a favour.
You fucking did. You don't even remember it. From school?
I was not in school with you.
You were? Billy? William? Billy fucking...
I fucking know your name!
Yeah, it's the same fucking name. William from school? Think about it. The school tour. Y'all. Fucking the beach. Fucking swimming. Parks. Fun fair.
Parks.
The ghost train. I got dragged out of it and they were kicking the living shit out of me. When I didn't come out, you went in. Yeah. You were flaking them with some fucking iron thing you just picked up. I was really frightened.
Yeah.
You know, he got 10 stitches in the end. Yeah. And what he fucking deserved.
There was a clout, Everly. There was just a fucking clout.
Yeah, I know.
Clout.
I never knew that was you.
Yeah, well, William was gone. And... But Billy lives, it's grand.
Fuck.
Look, I just owed one, all right?
Sorry?
He's a gentle giant.
Sorry about that.
Hmm.
Oh, fuck.
I remember when we were rehearsing for that as well. It was quite early on, before we started shooting season 2. That whole storyline was there, and they were going to have that development between those two characters, between Mairead and Billy. But most of that monologue and stuff like that was Shane coming up with that in an improv session, with the whole like perks and the ghost train and like Billy William and I owe you one. He came up with that.
One what? Just one?
Just one.
Because we were all in the same room together when we were rehearsing, and we were improvising that scene. And then, like, if you give that to Shane, he'll give you gold back, which he did, obviously. And like Shane on set on the day, he'll give you 100% commitment. You know, he'll never break, eye contact. He'll never get distracted. He's amazing to work with. He's brilliant. Yeah, he's such
and we realized, because we had an elastic band or something one day, and I was like, do you know what it's like working with you, Shane? It's like this: when you get an elastic band and you pull it, and you're like, because you never know what he's kind of going to. You're like, oh, he's mental. I mean, Billy's mental.
After that, he actually kept a bunch of elastic bands in his pocket. After you said that, Alex, then he would bring them on set in his pocket,
and just before take and go.
Take and go. Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, I asked, like, what's the improvisation process like for you? Like, do you embrace it, or?
Oh yeah, I love it. It
gives
you great freedom. So like generally what would happen is actually Chris, I don't know if you remember this. What was it? Season 2. Was it season 2, I think? And in the script that we got handed, it literally all it said was Mairead and Jock in the kitchen having discussion, and in brackets afterwards, all it said was, let Hilary and Chris improvise this. I was like, that is the laziest script writing I've ever seen in my life. I texted Peter after. I was like, that's not that lazy. This is like me and Chris just improvised all that scene.
Oh my god.
That was I do remember that.
Yeah, it's always been like that since coronavirus. Get him!
No,
it's going for the squares. It's going for the squares.
We found him. Since the film, we've always improvising's been kind of a big part of it. Even the audition process, that was kind of spent a lot of time with Chris and Hilary, just kind of going through scenes and stuff, which is just so liberating. It doesn't work as well when there's like. If the Walshes and the McSweeneys, if they're all together, it's hard to improvise with 7 actors because it gets a bit chaotic. Yeah. So it's kind of the smaller scenes. Yeah, a lot of them can be improvised. Yeah,
nice.
Like all the stuff on the bench scenes, that's a staple one that ends up when it's just like Connor and Jock on the bench. A lot of that always ends up being quite improvised.
Right. Okay. No, that was. I've shared all the clips, and now it's time for some questions.
Oh god.
Okay. Better be good.
So
Alex Murray. That's very similar to my name.
I didn't write that.
I want to read them. What are they? Okay.
I'm gonna ask you one question for myself before I go on to theirs. The holy trinity of snacks, right? You can have 1 chocolate bar, 1 packet of crisps, and 1 mineral for the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
Ooh.
A Capri Sun for the mineral. Oh, hard to
beat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do love Capri Sun.
I pick. Okay, wait. A Mars bar, but it's in the fridge. I love a cold Mars bar and cut up into segments.
Then a glass of milk.
Kyo's crisps.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Just salt the beginner of Kyo's, and then I'd probably just go for a can of Coke.
Yeah, I would go can of Coke.
Yeah.
Treble crunch crisps.
Whoa, they're rare.
They're lethal. I love them. And then I think it would have to be, the Reese's butternut
peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Is that a loophole now? Because that's not technically a chocolate bar, is it?
Yeah.
She could melt it.
Yeah. Okay.
She could melt
it into it.
Melt it down. Put it in a kiln.
Yeah. I've allowed it.
Thank you.
My chocolate. I'm gonna curveball.
Yeah.
Turkish delight. That's been my goal over lockdown.
Wow.
The fries one, yeah.
Covered in chocolate. Chris, you're not too.
I'm mad about it. I like Turkish delight when you get them in just by themselves, not covered in the
the powder.
You just get them in the bottle. Yeah, that's good. It always reminds me as well of Narnia, and it scares me because that scene. Remember, that's how she got Edmund in the White Witch.
Sigourney Weaver.
He loved it.
Sigourney Weaver creates.
Sigourney Weaver. It's Tilda Swinton.
Oh, Tilda Swinton. I meant one of those funny names. They're both funny names.
I'll move on. I'll ask the question.
I hope they're not watching. They're definitely not watching.
Tilda switched off already. She's gone.
Yeah,
she's gone.
Sigourney Weaver shunned me from Hollywood.
Alex, what's your favorite episode of film in season 3? And that's from Sophie East, I think.
Sophie East. Very good. I love Sophie East. One of my favorite episodes of film. I enjoyed. I think episode 3, the trip to Dublin, was good fun because we were all moving up, and as I said, it was like a big school tour. But also kind of working with Pauline McGlynn, who's from Father Ted, who was the therapist. She was just an absolute joy to work with.
Dennis Conway.
And Dennis Conway.
Yeah.
So there was just a few good kind of guest actors in that one, and also in that one, Martin Walley, Chris's dad, makes an appearance. So,
he does.
You'll see him filling up his car with petrol. So,
I've seen him.
Yeah.
He gets a line and everything.
He gets the line.
He does.
And my dad plays the taxi driver in the Christmas special. So there you go. Hello, Colin.
I'm gonna ask, what's your favorite part of your outfits? And I presume that's to all 3 of you.
What was that one?
What's your favorite part of your outfit, your costume?
I love
the brows. Your handbag.
I loved my handbag because the outfit that I had for all 3 seasons was absolutely horrendous. Like Maireada's meant to look really, really, really horrendous. Like I had the same pair of shoes for like literally the costume designer Lara, big shout out to her. She did an amazing job, but she was just like, I haven't spent a penny on you all season because your clothes are like they're just awful. But the handbag was a little leather handbag from Coffs, and it was the only thing that was really expensive, but it was like just kind of slung around and it didn't really take much notice. So the handbag was my favorite, definitely.
It's funny, Lara, sorry, the costume designer, she just finished working on the new Terminator before she worked with us. So she went from putting like leather jackets onto Arnold Schwarzenegger to just giving us tracksuits, like.
Oh yeah, she had said like that there were some costumes she was dressing extras in were costing like €1,400 for like one extra's costume on the Terminator thing, and then there was us that was like our entire budget.
Just go to pennies.
Right. So I had a really nice match. It's my favorite tracksuit. I think it's on the poster for season 2 or whatever. It's like a white Lacoste.
You love that.
That was I love that tracksuit. I stole that. It's actually up my room.
You heard it here, lads. Next one, Mr. Master 201 has asked, if you could choose one place to film an episode outside of Ireland, where would it be? I'll hit Hilary first for the crack.
Outside of Ireland, I don't know. This would be a purely selfish thing. Like, where would I like to go?
Exactly.
I don't know. Iceland for the Northern Lights. I don't know how we'd manage that, but yeah, that would be
I can see the lads there.
Yeah.
A road trip. Under the car.
I think going just across the pond to somewhere kind of similar, I don't know, Slough or somewhere kind of. Is Slough? I don't even know where is Slough. I don't know, somewhere like the world that somewhere
across the pond to Slough.
Across the pond to Slough. Or somewhere in the world of like Hot Fuzz, that kind of small village in England. That could be
either a small village or it would be gas to see the lads walking down like through New York streets, like Times Square, I think, in their tracksuits.
They just look so out of place.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I got another question here from Papadam. How did you manage to? I love the name.
Papadam.
How did you manage to get Roy Keane on?
How did I manage that?
How did you manage to get Roy Keane on the show?
I'm going to go ahead and say he wanted to be in the show. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. And then it came through a couple of people. And one person, Anna, who worked on the show, I think it kind of came through her connection that we'd heard that he wanted to be on the show. And it was amazing how it all panned out, actually, because they had kind of touched base, like Peter touched base with Roy Keane. and was saying, "Oh, obviously we would be so honored. We would love you to be on the show." And Peter was like, "Oh, is there somebody that I can get in touch with, like your agent or representative or whatever?" And he's like, "No, you're going to meet me."
Yeah.
Roy Keane was like, "You and me are meeting for lunch face to face, and we're going to have a chat about this." Yeah, which I thought was so cool. Like, he's a real face to face guy. And they sat and they had coffee and then they had lunch and they talked for over 2 hours and got on great. And at the very end of it, Roy Keane just went, "Yeah, I'll do it." So that was cool.
And we're quite proud. There's not many people can tell Roy Keane to fuck off and get away with it. So,
I tell you, no.
we wear that with a badge of honor.
I thought it was going to turn into a horror at that stage. I was like, these lads.
Well, we were saying in one of the improvs, we got an improv take, and I think Alex actually did like just start like just a load of abuse, like improving a load of whatsoever. And then after the take, it was like, and Roy Keane was like, "I heard what you said." It was
Sorry.
Oh, amazing. I got a question from Eleanor here. Eleanor Wilson wants to know who played the baby.
Oh, so that's Penny and Nola Richardson. Yeah, they're twins, identical twins. Yeah, they were amazing.
I tell you, they were very cute.
Because then if one starts crying, you just bring the other one in. It's a little trick of the trade.
Nice.
Do you have that photo?
I need to find it too. There you go.
They were so cute. Though. They were, but people say like don't work with kids and stuff like that. I think just as an actor, you never know what they're going to do, kids. So like you just have to respond. So they give you so much to work with. Like it's one of the scenes in the first episode when we're doing the heist, and we have a rule like there they are.
Oh, there they are.
The little babies.
They're so doty. They're so
I love the hand.
The other, they're so
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But we'd Connor and Jock would never smoke light cigarettes, but they still have them in their mouth. They're like no smoking around the baby. But every time I put the cigarette in my mouth, she'd just start trying to grab it.
I saw
and then
that.
that's in the episode now. Just reacting to that. Oh yeah, they were great.
Oh, you did a good job. I think there should be more babies and more ducks. They seem like they're good to work with.
The babies shit everywhere and the ducks shit everywhere.
Wait, Alison, there's a question here from Lee Murphy in New York.
Yeah.
Lee, me and Chris know Lee. Okay. So it's when we went to New York, a friend of ours lives over there, Lee Murphy. So there's a question from her. How come Alex and Chris are such big rides? Oh, it's a good question.
Go on, explain your process of being ridey.
I can't see these questions at all.
On the right hand.
Alex has had a sneak peek.
No, I can see them in the private chat.
Well, I tell you what, a virtual ride. It's my job.
Sorry. But,
you answer the question. How are you such big rides?
I can't answer for myself, but I just, Chris, it baffles me every day. Acting with Chris is difficult because he's such a ride. Yes.
Colin and Helen Murphy made Alex, so.
And Martin and Jackie made a good son as well. So good genetics. Hopefully.
Do you have a skincare routine?
No.
What was that? I missed
any skincare routines.
Chris, you definitely have one.
No. I had this stuff called Mugu. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Lorraine gave it to us. The makeup, I loved it. It smells really bad, but that's it's a good moisturizer. Yeah, that she gave me.
He looks good, but he stinks.
Yeah.
Between the tuna and the Mugu, it's so lads, they're cheese toasty. Are the tracksuits custom made?
Cheese toasty. That's
no.
Awesome.
And the great names. It is awesome names.
No, they couldn't be less custom made, I'd say. Straight off the rack.
Shavik wants to know, what are the hairstyles called? I presume it's about you lads. What do you call those hairstyles?
Scott cut.
Scott cut.
Scott cut.
Go into your local barber and ask for a Scott cut, and any self-respecting barber will know what to do.
Beautiful. So Alex Murray wants to know. So this fella has a similar name to you. Oh wait, I've asked that before. Oh, I see what's happened here.
Oh yeah. Let's scroll.
So how do you guys keep a straight face during the funny scenes and not laugh? And that's from Phantom 16. How do you guys keep a straight face?
Sometimes you just don't. It's very tricky. Well, Chris,
There are certain episodes as well when we knew that we were laughing like a lot. So whenever we're watching the scenes, where I'm like, whoever's not speaking, you're just watching their face. You're like, we're about to laugh.
Yeah.
There's one episode where PJ, it's when we go to the Debs this season, says like, do you know that little spark? And he's talking about a little spark that goes off in your head. But a spark is like a person on set that's for lighting, like they light the set.
It's an electrician.
Every time he was like, do you know that little spark? We just couldn't stop laughing because
I looked over to my right and you could see Paul, one of the sparks, and I just kept thinking, there's a little spark over there. You see, the things we laugh at aren't funny because the things that are funny aren't on screen usually aren't that funny to us. So
it's usually PJ that causes mayhem for me. I just can't even look at PJ and I start laughing. Like there was one scene in series 2, and it's when everybody's in the hospital and they're talking about adopting the baby and all that. And it's a big group scene, and I was sitting next to PJ, and he just started riffing on stuff, and I thought I was going to die. I couldn't even catch a breath. We had to continue with the scene, so I actually hid myself in behind Demi. I actually took myself out of the scene because I couldn't stop laughing so much. All you could see with my shoulders just shaking.
I got another question here from Heskernator. Are you best friends in real life?
It is, we can go public with this now, Chris. Yeah. We are best friends in real life.
We're getting married.
Yeah. When did you become best friends? I want to know about your journey to become best friends, because I find it hard to establish someone as my best friend. You know?
This is true.
Yeah,
we met on the film.
Yeah, it was just the audition we met, and it was just I can't imagine going through the past 5 years without someone who wasn't going through the same things at the same time. I mean, when the film came out and then it went on Netflix and we started kind of getting recognized, it was quite daunting for a while. But just knowing that like Chris is going through the same thing, and every time we went to a premiere or whatever, it was both of our kind of first times and stuff. I was just he's I don't want to say my rock, but you know.
Looks like we're there.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking at each other. It's beautiful. Go on, put out your hands, lads.
You should do like a wall-to-wall hand. It's been like epic. It's been such an amazing process to watch these guys become best friends, because in the audition process for the film, Peter had said, "Oh, you guys need to go and spend time together now because you have to play best friends on screen." And we were like, "Oh yeah, you know, it'd be nice for the chemistry." But they really did. Like they really, really did. And there was a few occasions where Peter had said, "Okay, you need to go shopping together." So all three of us went shopping in this kind of family unit so that we could gel a little bit. And we do. We get on really well. I trust them with my life. I would trust them with my children, which I have done. So.
Do you feel like a maternal instinct towards them? Like, do you feel like a maternal instinct towards them because you've been playing their mom for the past few years? Like, how's your relationship with them?
I kind of see them as little brothers. Like I adore them around. I totally do. I'm so crazy about them, and like I definitely hang out with them anytime. And like it's this kind of weird thing because obviously, like, you know, there's a big age difference between us, you know. But I think
not
we can all
big. Like 5 years, 6 years.
I am 41 this year.
Hey!
There's a bit of an age difference, but yeah, no, like I'm really happy to hang out with the guys. I think they're great company.
We always have, it's all a big family. I love you too.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Bring
oh my
guys.
gosh. Oh god. I'm not involved, but I want to like help you there.
Get out of here.
I'll rub the backs of your heads. You just hug each other. So Paul Connolly wants to know, what has been the most surreal experience you have had that made you realize the show was such a success? That's a good question, Paul.
Yeah,
it is a good question.
I think when you start like hearing that like mega A-listers and stuff are fans of the show, or like when you start seeing the numbers coming in from the BBC, that you're kind of like, what? It did what? Yeah. You know, when you like reaching millions and millions and millions of people, and then hearing that people like Ed Sheeran are fans, or you know, all that stuff.
Ed Sheeran. We
that's
signed photos for Ed Sheeran to put. He wanted photos for his pub. He's a pub in his garden, so we sent him signed photos, and we're up in his pub.
Yeah.
Oh, lads, you'll have to visit it one day. You'll have to
that's what we said.
Well,
We
that's
left
what we
our
were trying
numbers.
to, but then lockdown hit. He's not very contactable now. So
No.
we're
Oh,
working it. For me, in a weird way, I remember like 3 weeks into making the film, we hadn't seen any of it. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I was 17, and Peter brought us into his office. He was like, "Oh, here's some of the stuff we shot." And when we saw it on his computer screen, I just remember going, "Oh, that looks like a proper film." I don't know what I was expecting it to look like, but I just remember going, "Oh, this isn't like some YouTube video. It looks like a movie." And I just remember that was a moment of like, "Oh, cool," in a very small way, but that's how it kind of started.
It was also an amazing moment was when we did the film, and obviously it was our first job for me and Alex, and just after the credits started rolling, I remember just because obviously we were in it and there every day filming, and every time we were looking at scenes, you were like remembering what happened that day. It was really hard to watch it objectively. So after then, everyone just started going mad and applauding and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, is it good, man? It must be good, is it?" I remember not knowing if it was good or not. But then that night in Galway was amazing. The Galway Film Flat is honestly the best weekend you can have.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And you won the big award for that. Like, I felt like there was real buzz at that stage with Young Offenders.
Yeah, and a day from Mad Mary.
Yeah.
It was a good year for Irish film. Fair
play.
It was.
Final question, I've been told, right, from Cassie Smith.
Oh god, better be a good one, Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie, pressure's on. How are you like your characters?
Cassie. You're killing me here.
What aspects do you share with your characters, would you say?
I suppose a bit mischievous, probably. Like the lads kind of seem to get get up to a bit of trouble and stuff like that. I suppose, we kind of like that as well, maybe.
I'm a bit guilty of zoning out if either I'm not interested or I just kind of fade away and kind of just throw into nothing, which Connor seems to do a little bit as well. So there's a bit of that.
Yeah. I think for me and Raid would be similar in that we...
you have 2 kids?
We have 2 kids, yeah. Maid's tough. She's tough when she needs to be. She wields a metaphorical sword, and I think that I would be similar. I could be tough when I need to be.
Oh, brilliant! That was a good question. Thank you very much, Cassie. Thank you.
That was good. Thank you.
We're going to finish off now with one last peep at the 3rd series. But before I go, thanks so much to the audience at home for all your brilliant questions. Thanks to, especially Cassie. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you.
Thanks so much to everyone in the BBC for facilitating this Q&A. And,
it's great.
Yeah, thank you, Hilary, Alex, and Chris. Like, not only did you make a good TV series, but you're also great crack. Like,
thanks, Alison.
Yeah, been laughing a lot. Now, remember, this is for the audience now, right? Remember, not only can you see the 3rd series of Young Offenders, but you can also see the 1st series and the 2nd series and the Christmas special with Mr. Robert Sheehan. So you can go on to the link there. Colin Murphy. Yeah. I should have put him as the headliner.
Yeah. Colin Murphy and Robert Sheehan.
You can also check that out. So, guys, this last clip that we're going to show is a clip with all 3 of you talking about baby turtles. I think this is from the 3rd episode. Can you? Well, sure. I was going to say, talk me through it. Why baby turtles? Was that an improv or was that a line from the script?
No, that has Peter written all over it.
Yeah. Anything random or obscure is Peter. Yeah.
This is kind of a running theme throughout the show. There's just these moments of like, I saw this thing in the TV, and then it becomes this big metaphor.
Yeah,
so it's one of those moments. But it's great.
I have the notes section on your phone. Like I have a notes section dedicated to, and the title of it is "Shit My Husband Says."
Send us down that, will you?
There's stuff in there that you just like. I mean, I think one of the most memorable ones is like he was eating a prawn one day, and he's like, "Imagine that some people will never get to eat a prawn." Like that's what he thinks about, you know.
Fair play.
Fair enough.
Someday I'm going to publish that notes section. We'll see.
I'd love
You'll
to see
never
that
work
like
again.
in the 4th series of Young Offenders, just like Jock holding up a prawn. I can't imagine some people.
Some people never get to eat this. Yeah.
That would work. Like I can imagine you saying.
Incredible. Well, we'll play out this clip, and thanks so much, lads. Best of luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's been great fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to watch
I
it.
was watching a nature program on the TV the other day, right? There was this mother turtle, right? And she had laid all her eggs in a hole at the top of the beach. And then all the baby turtles had to make their way down to the sea without being eaten by birds.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just reminded me of the two of you.
Well, are we the birds or are we the baby turtles?
You're the baby turtles. The birds are just life's obstacles being thrown in your way.
Our house is a hole.
Our house isn't a hole. It's just you're in the hole, yeah? And now all these hungry birds have come along and they're trying to eat you.
Why don't we just stay in the hole?
Yeah.
I look tiny in that seat. From that angle, whatever that was.
Fill up the fridge. Unfortunately, Mama Turtle has gone off.
Chris, you fell asleep that day as well, didn't you?
Of course he did.
In a car.
Look, he's trying to keep his eyes open there.
Did you tell me ice cream on my face?
Let me cross that heart, sorry.
There we go.
Hey, that's the last thing. So wrapping up, thanks so much to the audience. Thanks, lads, for being here, and thanks to the BBC. We've had some.
And thank you, Alison. Thank you. Thank you, Alison.
Oh, no bother, lads. No
You did
bother.
a great job. Thank you so much.
Pat on the head.
Look,
Well done.
are you patting my head?
Yeah.
I should like.
Look at him.
Poof. It's been so lovely. I hope you have a lovely day, guys. Best of luck, everybody.
Thanks so much. Hey,
Bye.
bye.
Go watch it on the iPlayer.
Yeah.